In today's world, it is typically as though someone begins and ends with their conscious mind. Not only this, it is as though what is taking place inside their inner world has very little, if any, effect on their outer world. When it comes to the self-development world, however, it is often said that someone's thoughts create their life. Therefore, what is taking place in their conscious mind is seen as having a big impact on their reality. So, while mainstream society is largely built on the view that a human being is merely an observer of reality, what it will have in common with the world of self-development is that who they are begins and ends with their conscious mind. What is clear is that if someone is not fully plugged into mainstream society and has at the very least dipped their toes into the self-development world, they are likely to feel more empowered. Naturally, if they don't completely see themselves as merely an observer of reality, they will have the ability to change their life. At this point, it will be clear that not being fully plugged into the societal view of reality will be beneficial. Yet, regardless of if someone is into self-development, if they believe that it is only their thoughts that create their reality, and who they are begins and ends with their conscious mind, they are not going to be fully liberated. The reason for this is that it is not just their thoughts that are impacting their reality, and they don't begin and end with their conscious mind. In addition to the impact that their thoughts have, there is also the impact that their emotions, feelings, beliefs, and unmet developmental needs have, among other things. Also, along with their conscious mind, they also have an unconscious mind. If someone's conscious mind is the tip of the iceberg, their unconscious mind is the part that can't be seen. Thus, what takes place in their conscious mind will have an impact on their life, but it won't have the same impact as what takes place in their unconscious mind. For someone who is totally plugged into the societal view of reality, how they experience life is likely to largely be put down to what is going on externally and good and bad luck. For someone who isn't, some of what takes place can be put down to what they have been thinking, and some can be put down to external sources. In both cases, most of what shows up for either person will be a reflection of what is taking place in their unconscious mind. But without this understanding, it is to be expected that it will be put down to what is going on externally. This is something that the late Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, was only too aware of when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." What this illustrates is how important it is for someone to realize that they have an unconscious mind and to explore this part of them. Furthermore, how important it is for them to face and work through any emotional wounds that are held in this part of them and acknowledge any unmet developmental needs that may be held there, for instance. If this doesn't take place, and this is a process as opposed to something that is done in an hour or a weekend course, it is likely to be normal for them to unconsciously co-create situations, circumstances, and events where they will feel deprived, disempowered, and even victimized, by fully or partly being caught up in the position of the observer, and a lot of what they experience not being something that they want to experience. They won't be able to join the dots, so to speak. Nonetheless, with a deeper understanding of the nature of their own consciousness, and by putting in the work, they will have the ability to gradually liberate themselves. When someone understands that a large part of what is showing up in their reality is a reflection of what is held inside their unconscious mind, and is not something that they are consciously choosing to experience, there will be less need for them to blame others or themselves for what is taking place in their life. A big part of them, through being so hidden and impacting their life automatically, will be like a part of them that isn't really a part of them. it will be as if there are two of them. It will be possible for them to see intellectually and experientially how powerful they truly are, and know that they can change their world and have a positive impact on the planet as a whole. This doesn't mean that this will be a straightforward process, as they will probably get pulled into seeing themselves as merely an observer of reality and feel like a powerless victim from time to time, at least in the beginning. What is clear is that as more and more people know that they are not merely a passive observer of reality and that they have an unconscious mind, and understand the impact that it has on their life and deal with the baggage that is held in this part of them, the better off the planet will be. Currently, and perhaps for most of human history, a large part of what takes place on this planet is being co-created unconsciously by humanity. Now, if the average person's unconscious mind and the collective unconscious wasn't loaded up with toxicity, this wouldn't matter. But, as this is not the case, it leads to both the average person and the large part of humanity being victimized by their own darkness or shadow. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.